Good morning, good morning. Good morning, fellow humans. Today is Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. The month is already half over. Wow. Imagine that. Last week I was saying it's a quarter over. Now it's a half over. So July 15th, 2025, about 6 o'clock in the morning. Here we are in southwestern Nevada. Hard Scrabble territory, hard Scrabble people. But what do you expect when you are west of Sin City, east of Death Valley, and south of Area 51? What do you expect when you're in George Norrie territory, Art Bell territory? What do you expect? Right. We are here to help our students and interested people experience this life. That's it. No big deal. Well, the life part's a big deal. What we're doing isn't really a big deal. It's basically helping people create better habits, build better habits. And we do that by having a routine, daily routine, and then repetition, until if you don't do it, it doesn't feel right. Kind of like what we do before we go to bed, our nighttime routine, our morning routine, our toothbrushing routine. Same thing, build better habits, and then put that little kicker in there of the habit of doing it just a little bit better every time, seeking perfection every time. And we do it, we focus on 4 areas that happen to be compatible or complementary to this fundamental belief that we have a soul that continues after death. And the key word is continues, as opposed to it doesn't ricochet. We aren't going this way, then bonk, we go that way. We keep going the way we were going. And so we fundamentally made in the image of God. God is spirit. We are spirit, and we have the gift of life. And that gift of life has 3 components or 3 subgifts, however you want to look at it. We have a body that we can use to do things with. We have a brain that's the most complex thing in the universe other than the universe. And we have emotions that are far beyond the emotions of any other living organism on this planet. What do we want to do? We want to honor the gift and honor the giver of the gift. That's what we want to do. That's our purpose. That's our thing. That's why we're here. Honor the gift, honor the giver. And we further have a belief that Jesus was who he said he was, the creator incarnate, who came down to help us on the right path, okay? To help us get on the right path, because with this incredible body, this incredible mind, these incredible emotions, we could go any direction, positive, negative, up, down, in, out, left, right, good, bad, etc. So Jesus came to teach us. And here's a little secret I feel very happy about. In my studies learning AI, which is really going to change everything. Intellectually, it's going to change everything. It's going to raise the collective IQ of people probably 10 points, maybe 20 points. 10 years from now, I think people are going to look back. The average person is going to be so much smarter than they were today. And the smart people are going to be incredibly smart. And it's all in the prompts. We'll talk about that hopefully a little bit later. But how do we do it? We routine, habits, etc., focused in 4 areas. So spirituality is the fundamental ultimate thing. What are we doing here? Why are we here? It's not just to, oh, okay, we're here to worship you. No, we're here to honor the gift, honor the giver. And how do we do that? Well, Jesus told us how to do it, so we're not going to talk about that here. Disclaimer though, if you are saved, this is not trying to change your mind. We're here for the people who are not saved. Not saved. So if you're saved, good. If you're not saved, this is for you. This will help you figure it out, understand, have an idea. But if you are saved, please don't take this personally. You might want to take your belief set, put it over here, hang it on a tree, put it over there temporarily, put it in a little basket, metaphorical basket, virtual basket, put it over there and just become a student and listen. You might want to do that. Okay, our theme of today is IQ. IQ, more is better. More IQ is better. You still have to apply it. Before we get into that and our thing, this morning as I was preparing, I had the most wonderful, shocking surprise. Bonk. Wonderful, shocking surprise. Pounding on my door. What? That sounds like the cops. It's sad. It's really sad when you hear a pounding on your door and their first thought is, it's the cops. But I opened the door to see somebody cutely scurrying away. And on the ground was a box. An emergency roadside kit. And an envelope. Ed B. So it's not for someone else, it's definitely for me. And a card. But it's not signed. I'm going to take the card as a compliment. There's you, and then there's everybody else. So I'm going to take that as a compliment. And I think the underlying message is smile. Right? So that was just a wonderful, pleasant, great surprise. But as the 2 feet and cute little body were scurrying away, and I'm in my bare feet, my sensitive bare feet, because I don't walk around without shoes on, and there's a lot of goat heads. That was it. Okay, so it was a great start to the day. Great start to the day. And there was a gift in the package, which was a key. Yeah, the extra key to my car, which is uncut. But it's the extra key to my car. So thank you, cute little person scurrying away like a meerkat. Should do that more often. Okay. Time is racing. The good news is this is about IQ. IQ is pretty straightforward. More is better. But let's see what else we have on our hit parade. Advice from an 80-year-old. Never, my copy says ever, never deprive someone of hope. It might be all they have. There's hope. There's hope. And complicated. Never deprive someone of hope. It might be all they have. Right. Right you are. Okay, what else we got on our hit parade? Darren Hardy talking about Howard Hunt, painter, didn't make it as a painter. He was a great painter, but he didn't make it as a painter, landscape painter, didn't make it. Went to animals, pets, didn't make it. Ultimately was a house painter. But he left a strong mark on his grandson, who became famous, whose name was Norman Rockwell. So Norman Rockwell continued the legacy of his grandfather, who never really gave up believing who he was, but never made it. Partially because he had 12 kids. So he couldn't put the time into his passion. Okay, cool. Right. What else we got? Jordan Peterson. We're going to talk about IQ. Daily Stoic. Get up early. Get up early. It's not fun to get up early, but it's fun having gotten up early. Right. Seth's blog. Seth's blog, Sunk Costs and the Framework for Forward Motion. That's a long one, complex. Everything that happened yesterday and the yesterdays before that is real. It happened. Perhaps it's the hard work you did to earn a degree, or a significant error that cost you and others a great deal. Maybe it's a community you chose to join, or one that you failed to embrace. All of these costs are sunk. We can't undo them. They're a gift from our former selves. But like all gifts, we don't have to accept them. We can say to that former self, no, thank you. I know how hard you worked to get that law degree, but I don't have room for it on the shelf. I'm not sure what that means yet. I know you paid a price for that transgression, but that price is paid and I have work to do. No, thank you. Let's see, I know you worked hard to get that law degree, but I don't have room for it on the shelf. Something, it's a sunk cost, I don't know. I know it's profound and important. It's beyond my IQ. Okay, let's talk about IQ for a few minutes. What is IQ? IQ is, let's say there's two forms of IQ. Crystallized, which is what you know, and fluid, which is your ability to, let's say, learn or remember things, just for simplicity for now. Imagine a bucket, and you fill that bucket with information, knowledge, etc. IQ is a measure of that knowledge, of what you know. And we have certain guidelines or guideposts that if you want to get into a top university, let's say Stanford, you have to have an IQ that's here. You have to know this much or you can't do the work. It's not a value judgment, it's just a fact. You have to have a certain amount of knowledge to do that. And so standardized tests have been created, IQ tests have been created, so that no matter who takes the test, we can see how much of the same knowledge they have, how they compare. So the SAT, the ACT, the LSAT, the ASVAB, MCATs, all of those are IQ tests. How much do you know? We interpret those as value judgments, meaning you're better. You have a higher IQ, so you're better. That's not their intended purpose. Their intended purpose is just simply, how much do you know? A perfect score on the SAT is a measure of, you know, 100% of everything you need to know to do well in college, any college. Or ASVAB, there's a minimum. If you are below this, you are not going to be able to be in the military. We cannot help you. And here's the highest one we care about. I don't think you can have an IQ that's so high or an ASVAB score that's so high that they say, well, we're not going to take you. I think it's okay. If you get a perfect score, yeah, there's things that we can do for you. There's countless things. You want to fill the bucket. Now, yesterday, Daniel Amen was about brain damage, damaging your brain. So you could think that as putting holes in the bucket. The bucket is leaking information, it's leaking knowledge, it's leaking stuff that we know. It's going away, our memories, our lived past, our ability to simulate our future, etc. So we want to keep the bucket in good shape. And over time, it is going to develop little pinholes, things are going to slip out. So a Brain Smart program is a way to fix the bucket, sort of kind of patch the holes and have more of the same knowledge that's going out come back in. So we forget people, places, and things. Well, let's get pictures of those people, places, and things, and we'll look at the pictures of the people's, places, and things before we forget them, before they're too far gone. And now, fluid intelligence is different. So think of that like the pump that's gathering information from out there, it's processing it, and it's putting it in a bucket. That's the key one. And fortunately or unfortunately, that's the one that in an early age we tend to use to self-identify. So we could have a pump, we could process information slowly or fast, or anywhere in between. If we process it slowly, we might get the idea from things people say to us and then things we do, and we start believing that we're dumb, that we're not smart. Versus, no, our pump just is a little bit slower, but maybe it refines it more. So instead of taking like rock and running it through a grinder fast and we end up with gravel, maybe we refine it more and we get very fine sand that can be used, like, say, on sand traps on great golf courses. Those like the perfect white sand. But if that's what our pump does, and we're noticing everybody else is producing a lot of gravel, we're not producing a lot of gravel, we're not noticing what we're producing, we're just not producing a lot of gravel, we might think, wow, something's wrong, I'm not that good. No, we're doing something different. We could have a brain that processes information really, really fast, but it isn't even gravel, it's rocks. And that could be good in certain circumstances. Like you're in a very ambiguous situation. You don't know what's going on, you have no idea. You're in this thing, everything's going to hell. You don't need to refine the situation, you need to quickly figure out what to do. So that is the pump, that's fluid intelligence. Now, it seems that the drugs or damaging your brain affects the pump. People stop learning. It seems like marijuana is a big challenge to that, partially because when kids in high school start smoking marijuana, they lose interest in learning. Maybe they don't actually lose interest, maybe it's just the pump isn't working so well. And the outcome is the bucket is not getting filled. They're not processing information. They're not learning at the rate they need to learn. And then that gets frustrating. So what's the point? I'd rather just be smoking marijuana. Good morning, Watanabe. Good morning. So we are going to wrap it up. We've got 10 seconds. Blessings. Hope all is well. Look forward to talking to you. How is Edward? How is Lucy? How is Catman Joe? Etc. And cut.